Всем привет, дорогие друзья! С вами Рен, и мы продолжаем играть в Genshin Impact. Поговорить с большим...
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it isn't Miss Yenfei as well, now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual...
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why, yes, there is some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. It is abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific... I suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus...
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jade. But after I gave him my reply, his expression... I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if your pressing business might be related to the Snezhnayan merchant?
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
You're too kind. Take care now.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is he Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something back there?
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossell.
Have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation.
Yes, my investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss Yan?
Of course. You must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some...
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was laid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus Nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this. I spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is the processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything? In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I...
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next?
Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus jadeite.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the second.
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are...
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that... Traveler, would you do the honors? This shall serve as decisive proof of our case.
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
I had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item... I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs. However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient, considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry. I trust that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait!
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear, Mr. Crossell.
Huh? No,
Aren't actually inlaid with genuine Smaragdus jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Ms. Sir Chow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting.
Yep, he's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was... But I'm a victim in all of this, too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Chichao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
Exactly! If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay?
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it. If word got out that I sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Crystal looks like he could faint any second.
As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite.
There's no need. It's fine. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I...
Ms. Chow.
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But I... All right, then. Sir said Ross brought me enough grief as it is.
Mrs. Genfei, I'll turn the Smaragdus jadeite over to you. I trust that it...
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go, but whatever.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Genfei. When you have time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Miss Chow, have you...
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good, Mr. Crossell. It seems like my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so?
Actually, Mr. Crossell, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may. I can see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we join forces, your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
That's that. And I got the Smaragdus jadeite and ready ones too. All spell that ends well, eh?
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, it is to solve the problem. Even though the solution didn't involve
The right solution depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be, was the unfortunate solution. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, the card is now assumed by humans. The title of justice means precious little compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't think that the legal at Harvard today needs legal consultancy far more than its adaptive powers.
I'm unconvinced of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
Since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. She's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
And how did it go? Were you able to find the right Good. Then we have all the materials we need.
If we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. I've got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right, then. Go see to your business.
I'm on it. Bye. Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've been looking into the laws of other nations as well. If you ever bump into any trouble with the law, find me directly. Regulars get discounts too.
Come out, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have the wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me leave.
I'm leaving.
That child. Goodness knows when she'd have been so rambunctious. Father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day. Indeed she is. Leo has changed. And yet, I couldn't care on this, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city amongst us all. Leo is not the same as I once knew. All right, then. Let us speak of this no. I can't talk. I believe that I still owe you one little.
I'm so excited! How's it made?
Just a single teapot. It shan't take long at all. There we go. This Serenity pot is older firmly. If you were to drop it, goodness, take these blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively.
Wait a minute, Granny! How exactly are we supposed to use this?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this.
Seems that we have a visitor. Excuse me, I am not a Finch. I am Teapot's, hang on a moment. Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby. So you're the little helper that became magic? Madam King? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did something. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me. Your journey may be far from over. But at least this way, you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night. Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of the maintenance. Thus, we Teapot spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs. You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, shapes. As long as you have a blueprint, you can fashion this realm however you please. Oh, wait! It really is someone she gave us the teapot, didn't she? Let's take them out! Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up. Just commit the image of the object to memory and prepare the necessary materials. Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot. Wow! That's all it takes? Then we could go the whole inside, couldn't we? I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptist explained this to me at some point in the past. He said that even though subspace creation is a product of the power, even that has its limits. His world is not a true one after all. It provides merely a moment of brief rest from the mortal realm, not means escaping it entirely. A golden-eyed adeptist? I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptist again since. Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you'd like to ask, just... If you ever have any... Maybe... If you ever have any... Maybe you're not... If you ever have any